a proper ambassador coming to take charge. So all of these are conversations you gotta be looking at. So yeah, you can have the Sachet affairs, and, the interim, issuing one or two statements. But all we demand and ask our government to do, please don't take your eyes off the ball. Right, because this is about our country, it's about the young people, it's about the repetition of Liberia, the repetition of our passport. Tomorrow, Austin can get an opportunity to go and call an event in the US. The passport has to be accorded the relevant a diplomatic courtesy as enshrined within the Vietnam Convention, but when your passports start to be treated in a certain way, and then the reputation of your country start to go down internationally, it affects everybody. And this is where the government has to really step up the game. And on the other end, like it was reported by our media institution with the denial situation that you all posted on and all of that. So people are beginning to tie it in. I don't know how they it fits very well, but people are beginning to tie in, especially looking at the circumstances and the timing, right? So is America trying to further tighten her borders? Is America trying to further tighten, people living from Liberia to America to the extent where even people bearing our national flag and, representing the country at that level, right, are being subjected? We saw this thing during the World Cup, right? Countries that qualify their entry were being screened. So it's like being placed in this category. Is it happening practically now? We're beginning to see it. So no matter what it is, whether the Lone Star or the whatever, no. Some other stories I heard about 10-man delegation or whatever the case, being denied. But I think it's a cause for concern. The government has to speak to us.
It is, and I read what the Liberian investigator posted or reported on yesterday, Abu. The United States has denied visas to most members of Liberia's national team delegation, casting doubt on the Lone Stars playing international friendly against Minnesota United 2. The match was scheduled for July 26 in the United States as part of celebrations marking Liberia's 179th Independence Day. And this is the meat of the matter. The Liberia Football Association initially submitted a delegation of 25 people. The list was later cut to 10. The first thing they called it 10. Dropped 15 persons. Of the 10 applicants who attended visa interviews at the U.S. Embassy on Tuesday, 6 were denied. 6 were denied.
After cutting to 10, they denied 6. Only 4 saw green.
Only 4.
And let's say all the people on the field are 11. 11 men are playing.
And of the 4 persons include officials,
technical staff.
Yes. So the LFA Vice President Sekou Kone was the only official confirmed to have received a visa
out of the 4.
The LFA has confirmed the denials. The Liberian investigator has learned that the match is now expected to be cancelled. Now,
all of the 4 books are only one person that be that later in the air. All of us still administration.
Administrative process. So, but this is it, Abu, and I think, like you said, our folks from the Unity Party have got every reason to try to run around, with this U.S. government reaffirmation of their commitment to Liberia, of their support to the joy and the involvement in the fight against this, the investigation of this 19 billion cocaine thing, which is obvious that the U.S. government will not come out and say, "Oh, we are not involved with your investigation."
Diplomatically,
yes. So it is obvious. So I don't see why they're running around. But what they didn't consider is what you just made mention of. A political leader, a major actor and an influential figure within the international community, had already spoken, and I should say addressed the nation. In his address, he announced that he was going to lead the process of reaching out with his friends in the international community to ensure that the ongoing investigation is more transparent, accountable, credible, reliable. Because he believed that the investigation was not proceeding in the manner that we expected to proceed. Within 24 hours, the U.S. Embassy comes out and say, "Excuse me, Chief, sorry, we acknowledge." Yeah? For me, diplomatically, the U.S. government acknowledging receipt of Mr. Cummings' message or call for an intervention or involvement in an investigation. Considering that, okay, it's possible Mr. Cummings may not be aware of our role or that we are playing a role in the investigation, it's important we communicate in this tone to inform Liberians and the followers of Mr. Cummings that the U.S. government is playing a role in this investigation.
Clear. So that the government will not start feeling like,
Sure.
because it's that relationship, no.
Sure.
And the other man goes say something. The next thing the government internally is feeling jittery and say, "Oh, so they put me in business." So no, we're working with you, so but
Also for it's also
you can't go to bed sleeping and relax.
No. So the U.S. communicated to you diplomatic. That was a diplomatic tune. They communicated to you diplomatically. Then you only around that you are won on a war, you're wrong. They deny 15, 16, 20 persons, almost as you say 24 persons. Because only one person has been confirmed to have received visa. You call a press conference.
So technically only one person got visa.
So this government called a press conference to announce to us that the U.S. government has announced 3-year visa-free.
In fact,
for Liberia.
The foreign minister had a party. They were dancing.
Yes.
I don't know what in the U.S. was. Somewhere they were dancing. You remember that time?
I know.
She entered, the president was saying that.
They were
started dancing.
yes.
And they say, we get 3-year visa. So how can
So this is a country that celebrated, called party to celebrate 3-year visa entry, multiple entry. The first multiple applications made to the U.S. Embassy got rejected. Over 99% rejection. And the rejection is so important to the extent that we must emphasize the nature, the importance of the trip. This is your independence.
Go honor and celebrate.
This is the best gift that you've received from your traditional partner. You were drinking wine and eating and drinking whiskey and champagne at the U.S. Embassy. On July 4th, celebrating the U.S. Embassy independence.
So you say, "Oh, our independence, yeah, give all that leverage."
Sure.
No way.
Now, in diplomacy, there's a relationship reciprocal. Courtesy is reciprocal. Now, the courtesy that you enjoy from the U.S., your expectation was that we enjoy similar courtesy, but no. Courtesy, reciprocal courtesy, whatsoever relationship is not just automatic; it is earned, or it should be earned. Liberia has a terrible history of people running away from their country. They carry there, you go, you run away, you go in the country, you be living all in the basements. Liberia has never issued one statement condemning any person from a delegation, Liberian official delegation that ran away from in America.
And most times we government delegations. Sure.
We don't have a history say where you go, official delegation in Liberia condemn it, and Liberia use her networks or her connection in the US to liaise with the US government and trace those individuals. You don't have a history.
When you can't do in General Assembly,
they
somebody chile.
You go to colloquium, you chile. You come back, you do nothing. Then you come out, then you come and say, Chief, one way again, please. 25%.
We won't go play independent.
Jamie Conan, hey, local people, they don't want to deny so. The parents, local people, then from 3rd division, 2nd division, put them on dedication because he wants them to go to America.
Yeah. So then you go low and you say, you can't play low fat.
They deny all of them.
So you provide a list of the people you submitted.
So I mean, it didn't help. It's
just see more low fat people on the list.
Confidence crisis. There's a serious confidence crisis here with Liberia's reputation in the international community. All of our donations, they've all on a question right now as we speak. Look at the IMF review. Our conditionalities have been increased, amplified. The hash. We now have the harshest conditionalities attached to our loans. Look at the World Bank. They still have key projects under review, multiple reviews, because we've not been able to justify anything. You send 25 passports, and they rejected 24 of your passports.
Yeah.
On your birthday. To go to your friend's house to go celebrate your birthday. Your friend said, no, begin you're stay in your country. Just stay to your house. Just celebrate your birthday there.
And they don't want to talk about birthday.
Yeah.
You're bringing birthday, go there, friend there. But
analogy. What calling? Who made an analogy?
I one of the lawmaker there.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Somebody, man.
We get his name. So
the birthday cake, not terror. Not Yantoy. So yeah, the birthday cake, not terror.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
So you face your own birthday cake now. Your friends say, "Oh, I guess peace. Come on, celebrate. Let's have a party to my home." You not do the cake, everything the dog original in your hand now. You go in. You reach to the border, your friends say, "No, you're not entering my home."
Amen. I call the people. Yeah, we call the people evil.
So you standing there, you see your own birthday turn sour in your hand. You holding your birthday cake. You want to go celebrate. Your friends say, "Oh no, they coming. You're coming soon." Some men speaking, the kissy flying on the other side.
You know, Sekou will not go because the event he's going for cannot be held. So he will not go, but he has a visa. Yeah, he has a visa.
Maybe he'll find another time to go and chill. Operate.
But it's a shame. It's an embarrassment to the country. It's an embarrassment to our reputation. It's an embarrassment to our image as a country.
Has that happened before?
Never.
The national team?
Never. The national team has never got it denied in this number.
So the record setting?
Yes.
It's a terrible, dangerous record.
For the first time since I know myself 2006 to current, that a national team will be going all over the country to go play, and an embassy will deny
and 95% is denied visa. And you sit there in the country, you stay think that normal thing there. Right? Innocent footballers.
And you say you're repairing and you're strengthening diplomacy, your relationship with the EU.
All the time you're passing around DPD around here.
For 2 years plus, 2 years, 3 years, you're only debating tasks.
Debating tasks. Sending memorandum understanding. Only for over 95%.
Your national team. For going and say, there were preparations made, negotiations concluded, investments made, financial investment material. They pay for hotels and everything.
Yeah, all the international image you building for the country. Yes. All the international image you not build, you do the one.
This is where we are.
If this is the result of building international image, then we should have renewed where we were. Of course.
Imagine how many $1,000 would be. I listened to the chief organizer for this program. He was talking around $300,000 already invested for accommodation. Yes, for accommodation, for feeding, transportation, mobility, all of that for the delegation in the US.
After all that preparation.
Yes, and they invested money again. There are different groups in the US that were preparing. Food, transportation, accommodation, people migrating to Minnesota.
Yeah, some of the people know
people bought tickets to go to Minnesota from different states to celebrate the national team.
It's sad, man.
All waste.
Liberia is in a terrible situation.
And I'm told the team in the US is calculating the the liability.
So the other brothers that are probably in here or other places, they already like Oscar
Oscar
Dollar.
Dollar, so he have a dinner with his family in the US.
It's already there. And feel,
so he has to pay the way.
He has
the
to
family
be there, be waiting.
Waiting.
While waiting for the other people to come, they say no. Say no hook the trust.
This is a friendly encounter, Abu. There are Liberian players actually playing in the US and closer to Europe. I mean to the US. Oscar Dollar left Europe and went to the US. So the team could have easily gotten visa for residents who have residency in Europe, right? To go and join the other players in the US and play in a friendly encounter.
Maybe you have to let our Cyprus players all of them together. Then maybe the shame would be
We have almost 60 to 70. I'm told with the current foreign players, players we have playing abroad, they were more than 275. In my family in Rwanda, I'm sure they were not going to deny a visa.
No, they could just fly from
Yes.
It's about, it has something to do.
Because you want to carry Lofa, Jigwe Kone, man.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the state of the country today. And we have to think about that, Austin. It's a very serious thing. It's way more alarming for a country national team to be denied. You know, the way the US operate, they will not, you see that statement we just read, we're talking about exactly what they would do. Tell you. But I mean, there's a warning to all of us. There's a warning to all of us. Maybe you just get somebody up there, you just ask them to just test the system and know what's up. So Liberians can start doing that. Let somebody say you invitation, you just go, you test the system and see whether this is actually having a serious general impact.
And I think this is something we need to start doing.
Yeah, we need to test the system.
We need to test the system.
Invitations, you apply, you go there, you see. Let's see the denial rate. And sometimes maybe we'll be able to understand why are we being denied.
Because people are not testing the system.
Overstay, people running away. So if it is because of overstay and people have alarming term and number, and you say you have a strong relationship, you rekindle, you rebuild, restructure the relationship, that means you should have been addressing some of those things. So why has the government remained lackadaisical on addressing concern raised by our counterpart, right, to the level where our international team will be denied entry into the US? We're a friendly country, always supportive of America. Every Liberian child talks America, breathes America, lives America. So, I mean, you may want to say it's not a fair thing, but again, you want to ask the government, how well is the government handling leadership to project a kind of reputable reputation that America will never, dream of denying Liberians, because they always see it as a safe place. Have we lost that position with America? Are we at the point where America sees us now just as she sees any other country that they have always had historical fear towards? It is one we got to think about it deeper. National team, we're talking about the other official go there, I won't understand. National team players, right?
Wear a flag, fly a flag. There's a serious confidence issue here with Liberia and the US. Serious confidence issue. That the US cannot say, okay, if we have confidence in the leadership of the government, we believe that they will be able to work honor or work within the confines of our immigration policy we have here. We trust that Liberia will be able to bring the people here and carry them back as they came, so we can issue them the visa. They will have a conversation. Yesterday, you read the Shashi affair had an interaction with the Minister of Justice. Anybody can assume anything behind the scene. Whether there was an official communication to him to explain to him what's happening, what the problem is, what Liberia needs to do. Look, gentlemen, from what indication, your denial rate, your overstay rate is high. And we've been reporting it, publishing it from 62% to 67% to 85%. This is unfortunate. We've not seen the government taking any concrete step. You are the Minister of Justice. You lead prosecution in our country. You preside over the justice system. You have a deep connection with Interpol. You've not done anything to be, to build relationship and give us assurance that your people come in, apply for visa, visiting or whatsoever, they will be you will be able to lead a charge to have them return to your country. We can continue with this.
When you kind of public education to reorientate your citizens or certainly, and there are 2 to 3 critical areas. There might be other things that the American would consider a red flag to a larger extent. You see the human trafficking thing,
which is that
yeah, and that latest one exactly that latest one was okay, and this is what the government has been reneging on. So when I saw it, I got some friends with the trafficking in-person unit there at the Michigan Labor and all of that. So that's the same way you get cartel on that one too. It's a whole cartel on that whole syndicate. And to a particular player, what she does is to collect young people in the country, send them to these struggling countries, and then while they're there, leave them vulnerable. Then they will create a means to communicate with the ROM, right, for repatriation packages. And then when that arrangement is done, when they collect these, they bring the people, right, they will seize the money.
A serious business.
They will seize the money. Then they will go around looking for another group of people again, send them again. So you see, send them the same way, and then they engage. So like a cycle like that. And the apparatus is responsible to coordinate. And I've read these kinds of things. They're sitting suppliantly and lending support. So these are bad things that our partners have not been happy with us, and the government of Liberia knows it like that. But they try to be political with everything. That's one. The drug thing, the cocaine thing. Today, Liberia sit in the minds of our partner as one of the
major transit
point for
housing cartel members are shooting them.
Yeah. That's the impression. And ever since this is it, and no real actions been seen. Every time it appears like changes are being made to the FDA and other agencies responsible, then the cartel handlers within the system, right, manipulate and send people there that are even more entrenched into the network than even the ones that were there before. So these are concerning matters, but the people not get involved into statecraft or internal state operations. But they'll be sending you the small alarm for you to refund. Sometimes they will sniff it to journalists, reputable journalists like us that they trust, they can deal with. They will send it to you, and this alarm will say you don't need to send people to be attacking the journalists that are talking. When you hear these things, you can raise genuine concern about how it got to these journalists. But first of all, start to readjust. Start to readjust and see what you can do. You see, every time we tell you, it is not a good thing that any of us will feel like happy that there is a situation that has dire consequences on Liberia.
No, because it affects all of us.
It affects all of us. Then will be, for what? What do we gain from it? But we just want to see the responsibility on the part of the government to handle things maturely. Stop. It's been like 3 years counting. Get off the partisan or campaign mode. Focus on governance. Talk to every Liberian. You may have advantage certain place, the other person will have advantage in their own place. Right? Stop ostracizing, stop branding, and stop stereotyping people simply because you want to project a kind of political authority. Because if anything that breaks loose here, Austin, it affects everybody.
Yeah.
You myself, local Liberian journalists practicing, committed to our country, and all of that, and we're taking the race. So our safety rely on some of these things. Our protection rely when the partners have explicit confidence in our system. They provide shield and support. But when our government becomes accomplice in the act and the network takes over, it is risky for you to even start having conversation about drug in the country anymore. It's risky for me to even want to do it because these buggers will have total control of the country, and they will come for you. They will come for you. They will come for anybody. And so this is why our government has to demonstrate. If you allow the cartel to take over the country, you have plunged the safety, security, and life of our citizens into danger. Because the boys will be around here. Don't just dare say a thing or two.
They come after you.
So when everybody stop, because obviously the system have lost control, then at the end of the day, the very children who can be crying for, the judge doing there, the coach doing there, will be saying that Kolo will see the children with it. You can. What can you say? So, like I said yesterday, Liberians, we have to, if you have ever been taking this thing politically or party thing, a UP man, a CDC man, a this, that, a that other man, look, drop it. Drop that thing.
Today, the US denied 24 Liberians. If you go down with CDC, Adika, or UP Adika.
So drop it. Let's all demand our government to say, Pape, put your feet down. Whoever is denying or blocking the president from taking certain critical actions, reformist actions, and push to regain the confidence of the ECOWAS, of the AU, and our international friends. Whoever is doing that, we all have to work to expose them. Mr. President, it may look like a failure or something, but once you take the way you will react to it, you can regain public confidence. The actions you will take to redeem the country, you can regain public confidence. And it is not late. It's not late. There are a lot of recommendations before you and on your decks. Act on these recommendations. We don't have to live in a country where we know that if our national thing can go nowhere. So that means there's a blockade in the country. The country can't go anywhere. Because how do we interact when we can't get visa to go? How do we make representation that even if at the level of the at the national level won't make representation, you got to go start writing all kind of things, going through all kinds of things? It never used to be like that. Like Austin said, really, this thing has never happened before.
No.
Why is it happening now? It is not a CDC and Unity Party thing. It is the Liberian people and the government thing. We must work together, and the folks in the government must drop the arrogance. You have screwed up, you've messed up, you should own up to it and fix it. That's what you have to do. You don't have to send people to be insulting Rodney, insulting Abu, or any other journalist that talk about it. Right? You don't have to do that. You don't have to even threaten the people. That those threats, the more you start to threaten your own people now, then because the actual people are outside. They are using our poor country because of the vulnerability, and then the poverty that here. Even people who say they're in government, they lack moral, they lack integrity, they can be compromised. People espouse to enter government simply because they want to get free money. It's a dangerous thing where we are. And the most shocking part about it to know that a rescue government will kowtow into these kinds of things. That is that is the one that can really be like, and you like, really? Are you kidding me? 40 plus years of experience at a critical point. Who advised the president to go to a bar or a nightclub? Who did that? Why did they do that? Right? What message they wanted to do? So, Tantan, you have no other time to launch your EP. Couldn't that EP be suspended and allow the president to focus on this drug crisis and investigation thing? And after we have succeeded, and then you can have that party we always attend. Especially when bars and nightclubs are being linked in a way, and owners are being linked and highlighted. Then you take the president in the midst of that, and they have advisors, security advisors, national advisors.
He was there.
All of them were there, right? And all of them drove. They went there. So when people start to say that there are powerful people within the executive that know something about this, and you believe Liberians should just pass over that, why are you treating the old man like that? God bless the man in his latter years and reward him with the highest seat in the country. and he decided to call you around and say, "Oh, you can't help me. Let's do the thing." When they finish spoiling the ball, he would say the ball, that small ball job, that big man job, small ball, so you can. Then you're exploiting the man.
You're the B man.
Give to the B man,
The B man.
then you exploiting the man, and the man saying no. As soon as you put my go for that baby, you just say, "Oh, you finish solving all our problem." You don't mind that opposition, but baby, you're disconnected from the reality. Completely disconnected. You don't even know what's happening around. You don't even know what is going on, and that is the most dangerous part of it all. The country to be saying that governed by a man who is not even aware of himself, leads to save the country, bro.
And that's the disaster we have. And for me, that's the biggest disaster that I see with our country. That the president is not aware of what's happening around him. It's scary and fearful, and it's shameful and embarrassing for our country. And it sends a negative picture out there to our international friends. And the results you get include the denial of 24 out of 25 national team delegation to the US. That's the result you get. The result you get is when a political leader speaks and call on his friends in the international community to get involved in an investigation. The international community, the US government will come out and issue a statement to acknowledge receipt of that call and justify or explain the role or inform the public that they are playing a role in these investigations. This is the result you get. So, folks, so this is where we are. Abu said they still have time to rekindle. Do I think they still have time to rekindle? In terms of time as intern, yes, they have time. But in terms, if we want to qualify time to mean their actions and the actions they're taking to adjust, I don't think they look ready to make some necessary strategic adjustments with their governance approach, to ensure that some of these mistakes can be repaired. But from all indications, no, they have enough time. 3 years, 6 months, 5 months to go, enough time, just as in time. If we qualify time to their approach, their activities, their actions, the decisions they're taking, I think they're not prepared. I think they're way behind time if they to address some of these issues. But again, we are here. These microphones are here. The platform is here. We will continue talking. We will continue engaging. We will continue investigating to bring to you some of these misguided decisions and actions of the government, so you have an understanding. So it prepare you for a change in 2029. And for us, we think we can fight. We're not prepared to throw blows or discharge bullets. The only fight we can do is to sit here, use our time, our energy, and make the sacrifices, cut our sleeps in the morning to ensure that we sit behind these microphones and engage in the government to ensure that you get better life, to ensure that you get better homes, to ensure that you get better communities, to ensure that you have access to safe drinking water, to ensure that you get better, stable, cheap, affordable electricity, to ensure that your roads are good, the transportation fares are reduced and affordable for you to move or commute from one point to another point, to ensure that education becomes the quality of our education is upgraded, is improved, and accessible as well, to ensure that our health care is improved, is upgraded. Our nurses and our doctors can get paid on time. They can get trained and medications in the hospital, that when patients go to the hospital, they can get treated with for less or little or nothing attached to it. This is the Liberia we envision. It is because of these things that you see us here making these sacrifices to have our government under pressure. We prefer UP people calling us names and ensure that you have better life to live than to align with the misdeals and ensure that you perpetuate in poverty. So you make the choice and see, and you be the judge and see what we're doing here is wrong, because we're checkmating or chastising Mr. Braga. We told you the other thing. We always tell you. If Mr. Barker is saying that we have said, "Papi, you're not president again." We are done with him. We do not hate him.
Yeah, that's correct.
We are checkmating him. We are chastising him. We are beating on him.
You're not even
Because-
calling him.
No,
Mrs. Sally is
No, she's sitting there quiet.
Sometimes she has a birthday. If you get time, you go there.
you go there.
It's with her or what have you.
When you driving by, you know you got asked. You say, "Oh my, let's stop to say how was everything."
You pass.
Nobody talks about her anymore because she's not president. She's not in our way of
You
in
go to the
in
supermarket, and people
She's
are there.
there.
If you're able to remember her legacy, you celebrate for it. Fine, if you can. That's it. But you can't do anything.
You can't do
to see your private life.
So Mr. Barker is in public life. He's presiding over our country. He's in charge of our country. He's making critical decisions that are tied to our survival.
Yeah, then you try to alienate people with
Sure.
the whole critical view.
For you to live in those community and survive, for you to drink water that will not kill you or destroy your cells, for you to have access to electricity that will show you the importance, what the quality, what life means. For you to go to hospital and get quality treatment, good medication. For you to go to school and sit in classrooms that are decent and sit under teachers and instructors that are sound, well trained, well educated, to have good roads that will not risk you being running into accident. All of those decisions, brother, all of those things, they are tied to the decisions that one man is in charge of making. And you think your life is not tied to who becomes president for this country or the decisions the president will make or his lieutenants? So see Mr. Brother as just one old man, yeah? Don't see him as a president, as a man who he's a driver of a vehicle. All of us, the car is called Liberia. That vehicle is called Liberia. The vehicle only has one driver. That driver, that Joseph Barker. Imagine.
And when New Year coming, everybody can do the resolution.
Yeah.
All that resolution you can be writing. But in a country, to pave the way for any success in that thing, the condition that must allow for that to happen has to be sanctioned by the man who is the president across all sectors.
You want job.
So for you to achieve that vision or that resolution when you get sick, if the man is showing that the medicine in the hospital on time, quality medicine, and this is why I should go to the report. And the good thing is, Austin, I'm still waiting if there has been any kind of official debunk
to the report
that circulated. I'm talking about one man thing he need there, call you say this and no, I ain't talking about that one. But I want for government of Liberia to say, we categorically rebuke or deny, that report and blah, blah. Of course, if it is the case, I mean, people in the government has it now, and this thing has been around, right?
Yeah.
And right now they're even questioning basically the source, and these too many things came into why they document did not come out the time it should.
Yeah, and some of us we have to say, we have to be fair to our audience, to speak about why these documents didn't come out ever since. But you COVID, the child is key. You have to respect your sources. When they trust you with information, they will. In some cases, they want you to be aware.
Exactly.
They don't want to be
just be aware. So we go do our best. We always tell them, we know what we know. We see what we see. Basically, just take some action. Let action plan. Take some action, correct some things. And you see how we sound very, very friendly, because at the end of the day, right? It's about us. It's about our country. Nobody takes pride in all of that. But you lead it by small. Whoever carry the man, put the man in any kind of lacking. You go open the last small for the sake of the country. Let the man start seeing clear. And that man start seeing clear in the turn. Here's a rule. Right?
So, yesterday, our friends in the House of Representatives took a decision, and I should just read what the Liberian investigator is reporting, so on. So they said Tuesday, when the House of Representatives approved a controversial resolution to expand electoral constituencies from 73 to 89, sending the measure to the Senate over unanswered questions about the actuality signed it. but who actually signed it? Sorry, the resolution seeks to establish a new constitutional population standard under Articles 39, 80D, and 80E of the 1986 Constitution, enabling the National Elections Commission to redraw constituency borders or boundaries using the certified results of the 2022 National Population and Housing Census. If enacted, the proposal would create 16 additional electoral districts while keeping Liberia below the constitutional limit of 100 constituencies. But the measure did not pass without controversy. Before the House voted, Grand County District 3 Representative Jacob Daly questioned the committee's assertion that 50 lawmakers had signed the resolution and demanded that their identities be disclosed before the House proceeded. Mr. Speaker, we want to know the names of our colleagues who signed the resolution, David told plenary. Despite his objection, the House proceeded with the debate. Margibi County Senator, Margibi District Number 2 Representative Ava K. Jones subsequently moved that the House adopt the report of the Committee on Elections and Inauguration and approved the resolution for transmission to the Senate. The motion was seconded and carried by plenary. Presenting the report, the committee argued that the proposal is not a political initiative but a constitutional obligation triggered by the certification of the demarcation squarely a political team. I don't say justification. You don't play politics. You all are politicians.
It becomes even more political with the way they're doing it now, and the timing.
Yeah.
Because the laws are clear, right? Like Representative Musa Alam and Senator Dillon also raised an issue with it.
Yeah.
And the fact that Jacob Dewey, Representative Jacob Dewey, a member of the 55th, raised a very important observation that Liberians should look at. That the resolution granting the increment, right, was not made available. So a critical matter like
setting new constituencies.
Demarcating, increasing representative seats in the country. And the resolution, the alleged resolution granting that under whatever circumstances is kept secret, is even more troubling than troubling itself. I mean, I don't know what is coming into all of this, but I always say repeatedly we are at the greatest low in our country history. It will take eons to get us out of where we are. When we put people over our country only because of political expedience, we put them in critical offices, and then the only basis for reasoning is partisanship, partisan extremism, then we miss out on a lot. And this is what is happening to Liberia. You have a speaker who gives approval without a critical assessment and look at what this will mean for the country, right? In terms of recurrent expenditure, blah, 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 everything, adding this number of seed, what it will mean in the face of this, no critical, but people just looking at political expedience. Oh, my return to the place is being threatened. So, you know what, let's demarcate. The law says the demarcation should happen right prior to an election year that the census took place. Not saying verbatim. For example, the census took place in 2022, and the election right after that was 2023. We did not do the demarcation. So then the question becomes, the 2029 election that we're doing demarcation for, what
will be
consensus are we? What census are we relying on? Because it can be the 2022 census that's in violation of the law. First of all, we did not act in accordance with the law at that time. And this is why I commend representability for going to the court, because the court reserves the right under our laws to interpret, critical constitutional matters like these for all of us to understand. But I mean, as a political analyst and of course a commentator, I do believe that the internet is more political than nationalistic. The internet is more about self than the people or the country. So whenever a national government is a national decision is confused, a personal benefit is confused as a national decision, then the country, the people has to demand more, and this is what we have to do. Somebody said, no matter what we do, we'll go to. I want to believe so because a lot of things the public have weighed in constructively, professionally, but yet still the guys have had their will on it, and so this is where we are. Probably they will pass, and then the critical point now is the Senate. Will the Senate concur, right? And also yesterday they passed on the 79 billion printing too. Right?
And they also passed on the Senate also concurred yesterday with the House on the Port Decentralization Act.
Okay, that
creating
controversial
autonomous,
thing,
creating autonomous for all the
so
ports.
have they settled the issue? Maybe we need to see what they just passed now.
I really want to also have a conversation about that tomorrow to spend our time on that bill, because
we
my
gotta
president
see.
of the Senate leadership also on yesterday, just after they passed the
Exactly.
that
So
bill. So,
maybe they're in sync
Yeah.
on the subject now, and this is where we are going to be going. And it's quite frustrating to some point, but we see these are the leaders we have. These are the views about moving the country forward, right? But is the country actually moving forward? And no, absolutely, and everybody will agree. Even if you go down water side, everybody will agree that the country is not going anywhere. But the leaders are convinced that these ultra viral decisions they are taking daily are moving the country forward.
Yeah,
But
they keep
technically,
progress.
it's moving themselves forward, while the country is lacking behind.
So let's try to place it in the context of the Constitution as being argued by some senators. I think I read two comments from two senators, and there are other representatives who have argued, who are also arguing. Mr. Belete has issued a statement. He said he's going to court, which I don't agree with. But let's see how it plays. And I will say what I don't agree
Why
with.
you think you shouldn't go to court?
So,
If there are constitutional confusions, you go to the court now.
Yeah, I will tell you why I think he should not. Why I think it's inappropriate. But again, these are all exercise of political. These are all exercise of political rights and all of that. So, but Article 39, it says it maintains that the national legislature must cause a census of the Republic of Liberia to be undertaken every 10 years, which we are talking about. This census serves as the empirical data required for national planning, resource allocation, and the fair distribution of political representation. The fair distribution of political representation. That's Article 39. One is that census should take place every 10 years. Article 80D says, talks about the constituency threshold. Article 80D defines the constitutional framework for drawing electoral constituencies. It mandates that each constituency must have an approximately equal population, originally set at around 20,000 citizens. However, it permits the legislature to alter this number in keeping with the population growth and movements, provided that the total number of constituencies nationwide does not exceed 100. So we can operate beyond 100 districts in our country. We can get 99. We can get 98. We can get 100. If we want more than 100, if we want to start with the population growth, and then we have to go and amend the constitution. Now, Senator Dillon's argument, is that, and I tried to pull his latest post out. He says, okay, this one brings him to. I will speak to Article 80 C and D of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia and tell her and why I hold that the House of Representatives is constitutionally in error regarding the proposed the proposal of 14 additional representative seats versus the validated 2022 National Population Census report. You know. So, but for the most part, Abu, this is where we are with constitutionality. And I believe
Do you agree with them
I
that
don't entirely agree
that
with
there are
the
constitutional
yes,
issues with the practice?
yes. There is a serious one too, and
Then how do we fix that?
the Senate has to. The Senate will have to send it back with the Senate has to correct it. The Senate, that's why they have to concur on or reject, and they have to reject or deny it with the different corrections, because the laws are just clear. And I don't know why our lawmakers can be making these kinds of elementary mistakes. And you don't need to be a lawyer to understand this thing that's written called our constitution. The law says after every 10 years you must hold census. The purpose of that census is stated in the law. The purpose is stated in the law by resource allocation, constituency, demarcation. Then you go to plenary, you have judiciary. Just the exact conversation Abu and I were having it the other day. Your responsibility is to validate the census and authorize the demarcation. Your responsibility is not to set or to determine constituencies per counties. That's what the House has done, and that's where the constitutional violation is. Because the law says you must authorize the census, meaning you must validate the census report, which was done in 2022. It means the census should have affected the 2023 election. From 2022 to 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 2030. So another census will be held in 2030. So this census, I'm told, was suspended or some other reason. Okay, the census was not completed. Okay, because it said it reached 98% completion. So I mean there was no census done. So the census was not completed in 2022. They were at 1997, 98%. So after the 2023 election, let's just say, okay, we have completed our validation, our census, everything, and then we submitted the report to the legislature for action. The legislature reviews the census, they reported, they saw the data, reviewed the data, and validated the census report. And then on the basis of our population growth or the census report, they decided to authorize a demarcation, which they didn't do. They didn't authorize a demarcation. They themselves sat down and started apportioning districts. So they say we give Mosurado, for example, 6 or 7. We give Nima 2. We give Bon 1 or 2. They themselves started doing it, which was wrong. All you need to do, validate the census report and authorize demarcation by the population growth. Next, we'll sit down, review the census report, review the numbers in the report, and say, okay, we have 5 million, 5.2 million, 5.5 million. So you set it at either 35,000 or you set it at 40,000. Then next we do the redemarcation of the constituencies. That's how it works. So we expected yesterday that the House would have voted to set the constituency from 30,000 to now 35,000 or to 40,000. Because I remember in 2012 they set it at from 20,000 to 30,000. So once it's 30,000, it means 30,000 in P0, I mean, on Kerry Street, it means that one constituency. Now we've experienced population growth. It means they are supposed to set the constituency now. I mean a new threshold. So since there's population growth, we will increase from 30,000 to 35,000 or 40,000, or we keep it as it is due to financial constraint. But he say, tell them how many new districts in Mosurado 6. Tell them say we have new districts in. So how they going to do that kind of job now? You already done that job. Then the other question is, how did you arrive at a 6 seats allocation to Mosurado? Suppose Mosurado is supposed to get 10 seats per the population. Then they let the small men all River City, and they gave River City one. They gave them nothing. Then they gave Meridian one. I think River City and one other county, they didn't get any seat. And you have to be fair. That's how they say the Constitution say the fair distribution. Fair distribution.
Because it's not only about seats,
No.
it's also about money. The resources of the country should be fairly distributed.
So first thing you have to establish the number, the threshold. So if you don't get money, don't set threshold. Keep it as it is. Because when you set threshold, it means you are about to expand or increase our budget. We're talking about 21 or 23 new seats. If we go by what they have, establish 23 new lawmakers, with each person having 21 staff. I see your money there. 23 new cars. 23, 23 meaning 2029. 23 new lawmakers. Yeah, what they have. We hope the Senate can reject that and maybe modify call on and meet again. Once the Senate does not agree, they can form a committee, a conference, a conference committee of the House and the Senate. Then the two committees will meet in the conference and then settle the unsettled issues and then proceed. But even if the Senate concurs, I'm not too sure the president is going to sign that. I'm not too sure, and I don't think the Senate should concur. We can't keep violating our constitution for to satisfy our political egos. We can't keep. And Mr. Bailey says he's going to court. I don't know what he's going to tell the court to halt the decision or to not listen to them.
So what I read, I think what Mr. Bailey is trying to seek, and I think that all Liberians should do, and that's why I think I support his approach instead of being agitated.
Why support me approach? You let me talk. Why support me?
Yeah, I won't say my own. So say you keep your own. So let me say.
Because the thing about it is,
so other people won't be agitating and creating pandemonium, and they say, you know what? Me, I want clarity.
Yeah, you know the passage of the passage of the bills. It is a whole process established. When that process is not exhausted, and you go to court, mafia, you go to court, the court tells you, but no decision has been made.
Yeah, so but until you get there, you too can predict the court's reaction.
We've seen, judging from the history of the legislature and the lawmakers going to court, there are records there. Look at the referendum. You know that.
No, the man is not challenging. I said the law has been enacted. So you don't wait.
So what
you can wait for the damage to be done, right? A passage happened. The House passed a resolution
that is subject to,
right? No. From the House level, the man is now taking the entire legislature to court. The House took a decision that he raises fundamental constitutional questions over, right? So the action of Mr. Berede is not to say that the House may not work on it, but kindly interpret for me, right? The article granting the House some degree of role in this whole demarcation and census thing. What does it say? Where is the limit of the House or the reach of the House in terms of what she